Welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, with me, Gretta Chamberlain, Yvonne Kraeher, Leigh Stima, and the Realm of Beings. Shifting Impressions, which is one of the vehicles that supports the transmission of the Realm of Beings, is here to assist you in delving into your being by providing numerous topics and discussions for you to intake as you deepen your connection with your inner world. Shifting Impressions is here to assist you in strengthening yourself as you excavate to understand your true nature. Leigh, Yvonne, and myself, with the Realm of Beings, eagerly invite you to join us today and learn to shift your mindset, shift your thoughts, and shift your focus to recreate your life and produce a new you. Shifting Impressions starts now.
Hello, and welcome to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. I'm Leigh, and I'm here with Gretta and Yvonne, and as always, the Realm of Beings. And we're very happy to be on Transformation Talk Radio every Friday at 11 a.m. Eastern, 8 a.m. Pacific. These conversations will help you examine your life and your creation of reality. They will help you understand what you're creating in your life and how it shows up. So every week, for those listeners who may be new to the podcast, Gretta, Yvonne, and I discuss a quotation that Gretta has downloaded from the Realm of Beings. And in the second part of the podcast, Gretta will channel the realm and we'll get to hear directly from them to see what they have to say about their quotation. Ladies, good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
What's the quote today?
The quote today is a short one. The last couple of weeks, they've been about, more than a couple of sentences long. So this time we have, "You are not your physical body, period." So, I mean, where do we start unwrapping that? If we're not our physical body, what are we? Who are we?
Oh, wow, we're back to that again. Okay, of who we are. That is, I know it's very simple, and it's only one sentence long. However, it's very meaningful because it's talking about illusion, really. Because we think we're so invested in the physical vehicle. And I want the audience to realize that we're not talking about, discard your physical vehicle, but you want to take care of it, you want to honor it. But the thing is that the physical body, number one, is just one of your subtle bodies. It's a subtle body. And you have about 20 others that are all connected. Most people know about the emotional, they know the mental. You hear people talking about the astral body, the astral plane, and so forth. So we are a composite of many subtle bodies. Like you have a chemical subtle body that takes care of and manages the chemicals that are functioning inside your physical vehicle. So then the other part of that is that we are energy. We are energy contained inside this physical vehicle. I kind of equate it to getting in your car. If you want to go someplace, if you have a car, you get in your car, or you get in some vehicle of transportation, be it the bus, be it the train, be it the plane, whatever. But you're putting yourself in there. But that does not mean that you are the car. Okay, technically. that you are the car. Like we said previously, we are everything, which means you are the car. But just for this example, we just want, I know. For this example, we want to just say that this is a vehicle. So our energy essence that we really, 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 truly are is occupying our physical vehicle. That's what it is. So who we really are, or what we really are, is energy. And the energy, we're containing it I'm containing mine in this vehicle that is called Gretta. Yvonne's containing hers in Yvonne, and Leigh is containing hers in Leigh. But that's why the quote says that you are not your physical body. Now we can start. Oh, I see Yvonne's wheels.
Oh, I don't know what to say on this one. This one is, you think that the longer quotes that we select to talk about on our podcast could be more complicated, but this one kind of, it's short and sweet, but it's really like something to think about, like big time, because you're not your physical body. We have to shift that, really. Most people, that's what the common paradigm is, that we are who we are. And then when we die, here we go with the death theme, the physical body is no more, so we are no more. People just think we're a memory, but if you tie it together with this quote, when you die, your physical body dissolves and your true energy essence is still there. It still exists. So that's kind of why, when people can sense and feel their loved ones around them, even though they may have transitioned, but they are still around and they do leave messages. A lot of times, people think, oh, that's all so hokey, but when you experience these things from messages from, people that have already transitioned, they're just as real as your physical body. So I'm a big believer in that. So yeah. What say you, Leigh, on this quote?
I mean, it's definitely one item that is sometimes a little challenging to understand or disassociate. It's like to understand because everything seems so tangible, right? I mean, when we create pain, it feels very real, right? We create to break something, it seems super real. So I guess it's just gaining some perspective and really, trying to digest it, I guess. And also when Greta was talking, I was thinking, dag, some people take better care of their car than they do their body.
That is so true with the premium gasoline. Sometimes we consume chemicals that are not good for our body. And then you put like the top-notch gasoline in your car so that runs. So the vehicle metaphor is really appropriate, I think. I'm glad you brought that up.
No, I mean, if we're not our physical body, I guess we can kind of talk a little bit about, though, like if the car needs fuel, so does this body for right now, right? I mean, so pay attention to what you're fueling yourself with, like matter wise, and just become aware, are you giving yourself a premium, nutrition, or something on the bargain shelf,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
like everyone is where they are, and people can only do what they, what they're creating, perhaps, economically or whatever, but this vessel requires in this form, some nutrients and fuel, and it serves us better when we're paying attention, I think.
Yeah, that goes, I think, with the thoughts and the people that you surround yourself with too, because all those contributing factors add to, your manifestation of your physical vehicle, your mental bodies, and Greta said there's 20 of them. I don't know what they all are, but yeah, it's a lot to pay attention to, I guess, if you want them all running well, optimally, then there is something to pay attention to.
Absolutely, absolutely. And I think there was an important word that I think you said it, Yvonne, manifest. I don't know if it was either Leigh or you, but that is very important because that's very meaningful. Manifestation of the physical vehicle, the physical body, because we create our physical body because it's part of our reality. So we create all the parts that go with it. We create if we're going to take very good care of it or we're not going to take very good care of it. That's all in our creation of reality. Are we going to be heavier than what we need to be? Or are we going to be too skinny? All of that is our creation of reality. So I just want the audience, the listening audience, to understand that your physical body, you created. That means if you've given yourself a challenge, then you have the opportunity always to recreate it. It's like you hear people say, well, I'm going on a diet. Okay, to lose weight. Some people go on diets to gain weight. It's either one or the other. But so that means they're creating, if they have too much weight, they're creating to lower the rate, lower the weight of their physical bodies. So that's a creation of reality. If you're too skinny, then you say, well, I need to gain weight. I don't have enough weight to be able to deal properly with this physical, subtle body. So therefore, you do the things, you attract the things to you that are going to help you gain the weight. But either way, you are still creating it. That means that when you understand that you're not it, it's just a vehicle that you're using to be in this reality, then that means if it takes on an illness to show you where your unconscious is, because that's what an illness does, then because you're not it, you have the opportunity, and you create it, you have the opportunity to uncreate it always.
Mm-hmm.
So it goes into, don't be discouraged because something tragic has happened to your physical body. Think about why you created it, and then attract things to you to help you correct it. Or change it. I wouldn't say correct it, but change it. It might be that you have to go to an allopathic doctor. It might be that you have to deal with Chinese medicine. It might be that you have to have acupuncture, whatever. Maybe you'll go into the energy systems where you're going to do the EE energy system or Therify energy system or Reiki, any form of radionics. You might decide, well, let me do that. You're going to, because when you say, I want to be healthy, see yourself healthy. See yourself healthy. So then the physical body will say, oh, you see me healthy. And that's just the outside. We haven't even gotten to the inside of the body yet.
Oops.
No, go ahead.
I was just wondering, you know, is it something where you can start saying that I am experiencing optimum health?
Absolutely. Claim
And
it.
it's, I also had another question. I was thinking when you were talking, is it like, for me, it's a lot to wrap my head around that I am, fully in charge and creating this physical Lamborghini. No. um, but like, what is the kind of unconscious, like there has to be some kind of pattern at work, right? Like there's like a pattern that's like the human pattern or the tree pattern or the blade of grass pattern, because I mean, basically the human pattern, has, generally, two sets of things. It's like a mirror image, like there's, yes, maybe, of course, hair, eyes, skin, height, weight vary, but the defined shape is pretty much there, like a cookie cutter. You can make a bunch of different doughs, but this all still a star or whatever. So how does that work?
That's because when you are in the incarnation stage, and the incarnate is also the force, so we all share the same incarnate, all right? But the thing is, that's when the decision is made. What type of species are you going to be? Are you going to be humanoid? Are you going to be Hawthorne? Are you going to be reptilian? Are you going to be Pleiadian? What are you going to be? Am I going to be a tree? Am I going to be an ant? So you're making the decisions of what is it that you want to experience. Because see, this is all dealing with experiences. So,
Right, but where,
go ahead.
where are the recipes?
Yeah, I was wondering that when Leigh said
Like,
the
okay, I'm gonna
patterns,
experience
the
being an ant. I'm gonna experience
template.
being a date. So like there's a pattern, to
Absolutely. Because, and
So
it's,
you just pick a pattern out of the air somewhere.
it's,
An ant.
pattern is held, now you're getting deeper now. See,
Oh, there we go. It's
here
from
we go
simple
now.
quote,
Here
we
we
go
go.
deep. There
Here
we
we
go.
go. Yep. It's, if you look at the force, you have to go to the force for that answer, Leigh.
right, because it
Start
holds these
every,
somehow.
So we're just looking in the mirror since we are the force.
right. But see, the thing is that there's a part of the force that, in my knowledge at this time, because my knowledge is changing every day, I'm learning something new. So where I am right now is that there is a white body, and it looks like a round circle. It's a round circle. Maybe to me, it appears like 4 inches in diameter, 5 inches in diameter. But it's an aspect of the force. And inside that white body are all the designs. It contains all the designs of existence that are in existence. So species that you aren't even familiar with, their design is inside that white body. That's what holds the design. Because the force is a composite of energy, there's only one energy. I don't care, people call it Reiki, people call it radionics, I don't care what they call it. It's all one energy, because everything else is an illusion. So the force is the energy, it is the unconscious, it's the white body, it's the etheric body, and it's the, what is the doggone other one? Oh, just that fast. I've had a senior moment. Let me go over that one more time. Energy. The energy is what you use to create your reality. The white body is the designs that you can pick from to say what species you're going to be at. in a particular experience. And then you have the overall etheric body. Like there'll be some people in the audience that will know about etheric bodies, but they'll think that there's an etheric body just for the physical body, and that's not quite accurate. The etheric body is the body that's used to support the formation of the energy into that which is desired. In other words, if you look at those people who are just listening, just look at an object inside your car or look at an object in your house. It looks that way because the energy is being held to look like that. And what's holding it to look like that is the etheric body. Everything, your chair, everything has an etheric body. And all the subtle bodies that we have, there are about 20 of them. I'm using about, I'm not saying definitely there are 20, I'm saying about. Because like I said, I'm growing in this process of obtaining information myself. So at this point, I know there are about 20 of them or more, you know. So each one of those things has an etheric body because it's got to have something that's going to hold the idea. How are we going to see a tree? If we get rid of the physical body of the tree, all you're going to see is energy. That's all. Because everything that's in existence is nothing but energy. But it takes form, different forms to fit different people, different forms to fit different individuals, because there are other species inside this world and outside of this world, outside of this universe, that don't look like us. You see?
Right.
But their form is being held by the etheric body. Right. So that's part of the force itself. And then, like I said, the white body, the energy, the etheric body, we call it the overall etheric body. And then energy, overall etheric body, white body, and unconscious. The unconscious is there, and the incarnate. The incarnate is the force as well. It's the incarnate that then has like a decision in how we're going to build this body. Once the decision is made and of the species that the energy essence wants to experience, then the incarnate lets it go, will help it form itself in perfect health. See, that's the other thing. When you're in the incarnate stage, you are in absolute perfect health. Emotionally, psychologically, physically, spiritually, whatever. You're in perfect health for that vehicle that you're getting ready to operate on. Things change after you start. When they change is when you decide who's going to be your parent, who's going to be your birth. I'm going to qualify that. Who's going to be your birth parents? Your birth parents, when soon as you choose the birth parents, you say, okay, I'm going to have Mary Jane Jones and John Chamberlain be my parents. Okay, as soon as you do that, then that's when everything goes boom, 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 boom. You get like, and what I mean by boom, 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 boom. Oh, I like that rhythm. But anyway, what that is that you're deciding, am I going to be tall? Am I going to be short? What kind of epigenetics am I going to take? What type of genes am I going to pick up from these individuals? I want to learn this. So therefore, I chose them to help me learn it. So then you start to form, you create your physical body. And then you go through the process of conception, you know, because you've chosen them now and they're in agreement. So you become the embryo. and you start growing in your birth mother's womb. I say birth mother because sometimes once we're born, we don't stay with the people that were our birth parents. We may go and choose another set of parents to go through this experience, to go through this reality we call life. Yeah, but I don't know, does that answer your question, Leigh?
Yes.
Okay. But you know, it's all of those parts. Now I want to take you inside the body. When you go inside the body, you have all kinds of cells. And each type of cell does a specific thing. Some cells come together, clump together to form organs in your body, like your heart, your stomach, you know, different things like that, that is the, what do they call that in the cars? You got the motor. So if we were in a car, the motor would be like our heart. Our heart is like the motor because the heart keeps everything, everything rolling for us, you see. So, but each one of those cells is a living entity, just like you and me. You can even think of ourselves as being a universe. And everything in it is part of our universe. Everything in it is part of the universe called Yvonne, called Gretta, called Leigh, called Emily, who's our producer today. So all of that, each one of those things has consciousness, has unconsciousness, just like we do. Most people don't even think of the inside of their bodies. You know,
Right.
you know, I tell people, talk to them. Talk to the inside of your body. Talk to those cells. Tell them, I love you. I appreciate you, you know, being with me and helping me. That's what I did when I had that heart attack experience. I think I told that story on the podcast. You know, I'm standing in my kitchen, my chest starts to hurt, and I'm going, oh my goodness. So I asked the realm, I said, okay, what's going on with me? And they were so calm about it. They said, oh, you're having a heart attack. I said, oh, thank you so much.
And then what?
I said, oh, I don't have time to have a heart attack. I got too much stuff to do. So, because then what flashed before me was the ambulance coming, me being driven off to the hospital. I said, oh, I don't have time for that. So I went in my living room and I sat down and I talked to my heart. I said, look, I love you. And I
Oh,
talked to all the cells of my heart. I said, I love all of you all. I said, I know you think that I want to experience this, but I want you to know truly, truly, I do not. So I want us, we got to stay around here now. We don't have time for this. So I want you to just stop, but no, I love you. I gave it some, I think I put my hand up on my chest and I think I gave it some indigo purple energy, some kind of energy like that. And I said, look, we're all right. We're getting through this. We're moving through this. And I sat there, it took 20 minutes. And I said, oh, okay, I'm back to normal. I got up and went on and kept on doing what I was doing. So it's like to talk to them. If you have an illness, talk to yourselves and say, look, work with me now. I don't want this experience. Because remember, you're in control.
yeah, let's make it clear though. We're not suggesting that anybody that's having a heart attack, if you need to call 911, please do.
Well, yeah.
Yes. No way medical advice.
Right. Yeah.
Just
I mean,
experience.
everybody creates their own reality, and this obviously is a good example. I mean, I know people who have had heart attacks and they've called 911 and gone to the hospital and had, you know, interventions and whatnot. So those are all part of the bigger reality of choices, I guess everybody has.
Absolutely. And that's
Right.
the
I had
creation of reality.
experience with my knee the last the last month or so. My left knee was very painful, but it only hurt in the middle of the night. And it was so interesting that it felt like I was paralyzed with my knee. It was fine during the day. So I kind of did what you did with your heart and talking to it. I kept talking to my knee and asking, like, what is going on? And then I have a group that I work with, and one of the people in the group, she's like, I think there's something hiding in your knee. Like, and so I was asking, what is hiding there? And a lot of emotions started to come out when I asked the questions. And then it led me to start taking some supplements for anti-inflammation, changing my diet a little bit, drinking more water. And lo and behold, I don't have any more pain in my knee, my left knee. But I was also doing a lot of processing work about my ancestors and some old stuck family patterns. So I think like the energy was really stuck there for those lessons to kind of come up and be recognized, and kind of wherever the energy goes all around. I don't really know what happened to it, but it's not stuck in my knee anymore, thankfully, because now I don't, I don't have pain all night long with my knee. But it was interesting, just in the middle of the night, that's when it hurt. So
Mhm.
I think these are really good examples of just, having another perspective on things, right? And it's just great examples of how vast and the array of choices we have to deal with something. Someone can have a heart attack experience and have a 180-degree different experience than Greta, and it's also what right? What your awareness is. I was listening to a story. Someone was having a panic attack and they went to the hospital. They didn't know it was that. They went to the hospital, but it was really busy. So they just kept waiting, no seeing anyone. And then, she heard nurses saying, oh, it's a panic attack. Oh, okay. It's anxiety. So, she went home, found some other remedies for that, and the next time she experienced it, instead of rushing to the hospital, she understood the mechanism behind it. And then she just calmly went down, had a tea, talked with herself, and then was able to go back to sleep. So completely different, different outcomes.
Mhm.
And, I think that's knowledge, that's like evolution, right? And we are powerful creators. So like, it's like, just choose what you want, choose it and make it.
Mhm. Absolutely. Absolutely.
as Greta always says, focus on what you want, right? Start, like, in my case, instead of focusing on, oh my God, my knee, I have so much pain, and I could be thinking about it all day long, but it woke me up. I was like, okay, well, how can I resolve this? I talked to it and tried to figure out what emotions were in there that needed to be addressed and, like you said, loved and taken care of. And yeah, seems to be resolved for now. But ladies, we are on our little bit past our halfway mark. So it's time to take a break, if you guys don't mind. And when we come back, we will have the realm of beings with us to see what they have to say about this quotation. Thanks for listening, and we'll see you soon.
Hello, and welcome back to Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings. We will ask the realm right now about their quotation. Realm, are you with us?
Yes.
Okay, we have a short quote this weekend from you. I mean, today from you. You are not your physical body. What wisdom do you have to share about that with the listeners?
We think that you guys touched on a lot of areas of that. And I think that you found out that it's not as simple as it sounds. That there are a lot of parts to be considered in that quote. And it takes you from the present now into a nowness that is going into infinity, because you see your physical body holds you in a certain space. It sets up a limitation. It sets up, yes, it sets you up to think that it is totally you. And that's part of the illusion in this reality that you've chosen to be in. So the thing is to start, once you come out of the illusion, then you realize that this is just a vehicle that you are using, but you're really energy. You see, this is the thing. You're really energy. And the body, of course, is created by way of different energies, but at the same token, it's not the let me say it like this. It's not the complete you. It is not the complete you. Now, most of you have had experiences where you've traveled. You said, I was traveling in my sleep. I wound up here, I wound up there. So the body that helps you do that is your astral body. That's why you see people talking about moving in the astral plane, moving your astral body to different places. So you recognize you have that. But many don't recognize, and some people recognize that they call it a light body. You know, you'll hear people speak of that. And that is what we've said is the electromagnetic body. So you have created different words to mean the same thing. So, but the bottom line is that you create the physical vehicle that you have chosen to be in. You created it before you were born. Before conception, before you were even conceived, you were creating your body. And at that point, you have emotions, you have the mental body, you have practically all of your bodies there. The one thing that you do is that when you go into the womb, there's a formulation. There is the formulation, it's the bringing together of the bodies into one organism called your human body. So your human body contains all of these other bodies. But most people only think of the physical body as it, but it is not. You have an emotional body. That's where you hold your emotions. You have a mental body. That's where you hold your thoughts. You have an astral body. That is the body that you use to travel and to move around. But then you have a chemical body that keeps the chemicals moving and doing what they're supposed to be doing. You have a fluid body that takes care of the fluids in your body, making sure that they're operating. You have a digestive body, making sure that your digestive system is working. So you have subtle bodies that deal with the systems, not symptoms, but systems of your body, you see.
Realm.
Yes.
Is it fair to say that when one of those more subtle systems is out of balance and we don't notice, or is it fair to say that when something manifests in your physical body. It's like really screaming for your attention to rectify whatever you didn't catch or didn't understand on those more subtle planes. So the physical one is where we kind of pay our attention to. So when something shows up there, it's like a red flag screaming that you have some more subtle things to work on.
Absolutely. You're talking about mental equivalencies. Like if you have, if your physical vehicle is experiencing a headache, then the mental equivalencies that have been set up is that now you are feeling stressed out. And there are several books that have been written and channeled to people that talk about the mental equivalencies. In other words, if you have cancer, that means something. If the particular area that you have the cancer in also means something. So your physical body is the vehicle that's set up to let you know what you are feeling at the unconscious level that you're not aware of.
Mm-hmm.
See, some people will tell you, well, I know Greta read a book in psychology that it was telling her that you can't know what the unconscious is doing. But yes, you can know. You can know what the unconscious is doing because you can look at what are you creating.
Right, what shows.
Sometimes, yes, sometimes you create things that you don't want. You say, well, how did that get there? Well, it got there because you put it there. But what helped you put it there? Your unconscious helped you put it there. Because remember, the unconscious is the force. It's an aspect of the force. It holds everything in existence. Everything. It does not miss a beat. It knows every experience, every creation of reality. And there are trillions and billions and billions and billions of creations of reality taking place simultaneously. You're just not aware of them because you are somewhat focused in this reality that you have created for yourself. So you're not looking at all the other realities that exist. And when you do, you usually look at one reality at a time. I know they tell you that you're you can multitask, yes, but still your focus, at any point in time, your focus is only on one thing. That is your part of your being humanoid. See, being humanoid gives you certain experiences. You chose to be humanoid. So you chose your vehicle, you created your vehicle, like you all were talking about earlier in the podcast. So the thing goes back to understanding and remembering that you create everything. You don't create half of this and something else comes and creates the other half. You create it all. You're responsible for it all. You're responsible for how the physical vehicle is going to feel. You know, are you going to give the physical vehicle a stomach ache? Are you going to throw up? You know, even to throw up or vomit, as you say, means that you're trying to get rid of something. So your physical body is really set up to show you where you are at your unconscious level in the lessons that you have chosen. See, to get a disease, let's say you experience lupus. So you're giving yourself lupus, the unconscious is assisting you in you experiencing lupus because lupus is a lesson for you. See, all of us, including us, I'm putting us with you all because we learn lessons as well. Our lessons may not come the same way that your lessons do, but they come nonetheless. So, because we don't have physical bodies. Right now, we, and I'm the only one talking, but I want you to know that we are a collective. So there are many of us that are sharing this body with Greta at this point. And she's letting us, she gave us permission to use her, part of her physical vehicle, to be able to talk to all of you. Otherwise, she's going to be the main one to hear us. And we wanted everybody to hear us. So she was in agreement with that. That's why I'm able to talk to you today. And I'm only one of many, you see. So note that the body, the physical body, is there to assist you in learning what lessons you don't know, you haven't learned yet. It'll show you. That's its job. The subtle body of the chemical body is to take care of the chemicals and make sure they're all going the way it's necessary for you to learn certain lessons. So each body is in its own right, takes care of a system of your physical body. So most medical people, they only focus on the physical body. They don't know that there are other bodies that also need to be focused on. They're not aware. They're not aware that you have a digestive, subtle body. They only deal with the digestive system inside the physical body because that's what they see. So that's how you develop the belief in it, because that's what you see. So you think that is you. It is you. But you forget who you really are. You really are an energy being. You are the force itself, having a humanoid experience in this reality, because you could be a humanoid but having an experience in a different reality, you see. And you create all of these things to assist you in trying to figure out what is existence. But I want to say this again, the existence protocol that we have, notice I said existence protocol, is create, support, support, create. I don't care what planet you're on, don't care what universe you're in. You could be in universe number 384. You are still doing the existence protocol, which is create, support, support, create. And it's going on simultaneously, and it never stops because you're always in relationship with something.
So, Realm, can we, earlier in the podcast, Greta said that when we're in the incarnate stage and doing the planning, like this physical pattern design is perfect. And then we pick our parents and then it starts to unravel.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So can we, and Greta was talking about talking to ourselves, can we just ask ourselves to revert back to their perfect pattern program?
Of course you can, but you're going to have to identify what is it that has taken you outside of that perfection.
Oh, we have to do the identification.
You want to know, like, let's go back to that headache situation. The first thing, you know, most of you think, let me go take some aspirin, or let me take another product that's going to help alleviate from this headache. Most people don't think, why did I get the headache in the first place? And you want to start thinking, why?
Mm-hmm.
Why did this happen? Why is this happening to me? You know, because once you discover the why, then you start talking to your unconscious, because your unconscious is the one that says, okay, you need to learn this, so let me help you. That's where the support is. Because you see, you always have a relationship with your unconscious. Always. We're not talking about subconscious, preconscious, and all that, because you know, Freud developed all of that. He's humanoid, so he went into his own self to develop all those things. So we're not dealing with that. We're dealing with the force itself. So that unconscious part of the force holds everything. When you understand why you created to experience something, it's the unconscious that you're going to be dealing with, to let it know, I don't think I want this anymore. Now, how do you do that? You communicate with it by way of prayer. You communicate with it by way of affirmations. You communicate with it by way of what we've taught in this podcast called the QDR, quick displace, replace. Those are three things right there. And another way you can communicate with it is through meditation. I want to change this, or even not doing any of those, just specifically saying, I don't want this anymore. I want something different. I want to be happy. I don't want to be sad. I want to be healthy. I don't want to be sick. So when you're saying that out loud, you think you're talking to yourself, and you are, but you're talking to the unconscious and saying, look, thank you for showing me this, but I don't want it anymore. You see, you let it know. Thank you for showing it to me, but I don't want this anymore. I don't need this. I don't need to experience the inability to breathe perfectly. I don't need to that my various parts, or I've had a fracture in my elbow or whatever. I don't need this anymore. So then you start thinking, see yourself whole, see yourself perfect, because that's what you were in the beginning. You were absolutely perfect. What you would
Realm,
perfect.
we're getting ready to wrap it up. Do you have some closing words for the listeners today?
Remember that your physical body is not you. Remember that you are an energy essence. Remember that you are the force. Therefore, you are in control of your life, so take control. That's it.
Thank you, Realm. Gretta, Yvonne, listeners, thank you for being with us today. And we will conclude another podcast of Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings, until we create each other again. Be well.
Once again, thanks for joining us at Shifting Impressions, Conversations with the Realm of Beings on TransformationTalkRadio.com. As you have explored today's creation of reality experience with Leigh, Yvonne, the Realm, and me, Gretta, each of you is being supported by us in further developing the understanding that you are not just an individual existing in linear time and space, but a multi-dimensional force of infinite possibilities who is connected to all. So begin to create the realities you want. Join us every Friday at 8 a.m. Pacific Time and 11 a.m. Eastern Time on Shifting Impressions at TransformationTalkRadio.com. So long until we create each other again next Friday.